My friend's parents said you need to sign this prenup that leaves you with nothing. She nodded and said it's just a formality. I replied, then let's formalize it. The room went silent when I added my own clause. I, 29 mil, thought I was living the dream, engaged to Natalie, 26, beautiful ring on her finger, wedding planned for next spring. We'd been together 3 years, living together. For one, everything seemed perfect until last Tuesday, when her parents invited us for dinner. Should have known something was up when her father, Gregory, insisted we come over for a formal discussion about the future. The man owned a chain of high-end furniture stores and never let anyone forget it. We arrived at their mini mansion around 6 p.m. Her mother, Patricia, greeted us with air kisses and guided us to Gregory's study instead of the dining room. Red flag number 1. Sit, Gregory said, gesturing to chairs across from his massive oak desk. Like we were there for a job interview. Natalie squeezed my hand. Daddy, what's this about? They slid a thick document across the desk. The prenuptial agreement, standard procedure in our family. I picked it up, started flipping through. Okay, I'm not opposed to bring up some principal good. Just sign on the last page, or lawyer prepared of. Great thing. I'll need to read it first. Patricia laughed. Oh, honey. It's all legal jargon. Basically just says what's yours stays yours, what's yours stays yours. But that's not what it said. Not even close. As I read, my stomach dropped. This wasn't a prenup. It was a financial execution. If we divorced for any reason, I get nothing from assets accumulated during marriage. No spousal support regardless of circumstances. Any gift from her family would be considered loans repayable immediately. If we had kids, she'd get automatic full custody. I'd be responsible for her attorney fees. Her student loans, 85 worth, would become my responsibility. And he joined property with defaulter. This is extensive, I said carefully. Gregory leaned back. We protect our assets in this family. Natalie Trust Fund, her inheritance, the family business. All needs protection. I understand that. But this goes beyond protecting premarital assets, it says. If she buys a house during our marriage with money she earns from her job, I have no claim to it, correct? But if I buy anything as marital property, you're catching on. I looked at Natalie. You've read this, she shrugged. It's just a formality, babe. We're never getting divorced anyway, right? Then why does it matter what it says? Patricia interjected. Every marriage needs insurance. This is ours. Insurance usually protects both parties. This only protects Natalie. Well, Gregory smirked. She's the one with assets to protect. I set the document down. I make $75 a year. I've saved responsibly. I'm not after your money, then signing should be no problem. Patricia said sweetly, you're right. Let's formalize it properly. I'll have my lawyer ads and clauses of my own. The room went silent. That's not how this works. Gregory said slowly, why not if it's just a formula? Bloody, if we're never divorcing, what's the harm? And making it fair, Natalie pulled her hand away from mine. Fair. I'm bringing family money to this marriage. What are you bringing? My salary, my savings, my 401k, my car, my peanuts. Gregory interrupted. Compared to what Natalie stands to inherit, then you have nothing to worry about for my additions. What additions? Patricia asked. I pulled out my phone, opened my notes app. Well, if we're formalizing things, infidelity clause. If either party cheats, they forfeit all marital assets. Effort clause. Both parties must maintain employment or forfeit support. Addiction clause. This is ridiculous. Natalie stood up to sign the paper. Why we're never getting divorced, right? So why does it matter what protections? I want Gregory's face to turn red. Because you're nobody you think you can walk with and make demands. You should be grateful. Natalie even looks at you. There is the truth. Grateful. I stood to. I love your daughter. I've supported her through her career, changes her anxiety, her money. Makes all that irrelevant. Patricia said coldly, sign the prenup or the wedding's off. I looked at Natalie, really looked at her, waiting for her to defend me. Us, she crossed her arms there. Right, just sign it. If you really love me, you sign it. If you really love me, you wouldn't ask me to sign something that treats me like a gold digger who deserves nothing. Drama queen. She muttered. I nodded slowly. Okay, I'll sign it. Relief washed over their faces. On one condition, I had just one clause. Absolutely not. Gregory started one clause. I repeated, since we're never getting divorced, it won't matter anyway, right, Natalie? She hesitated and nodded. What clause? A sunset provision. After 10 years of marriage, the entire prenup becomes void. What all three of them shouted. If we make it 10 years, clearly the marriage is solid. No need for protection anymore. That defeats the entire purpose. Gregory slammed his hand on the desk. I thought the purpose was protecting premarital assets. After 10 years, surely have proven I'm not after those who can just wait 10 years and then divorce her. Patricia accused. So you think I waste 10 years of my life for money? That's what you think of me? Natalie was pacing now. This is stupid to sign, you. Original no, add the sunset clause. Or no deal, then there's no. Wedding, she screamed, okay. Update one, that okay broke something, and Natalie. She went from angry to nuclear. In seconds, you're throwing us away over money. She was crying now. But they were angry tears. I'm refusing to sign a document that says I'm worthless to you. Same thing as it though I left that night with Natalie screaming at me to come back and be reasonable. Her parents just watched with smug satisfaction, probably thinking I'd caved by morning. I didn't. Instead, I went home to our shared apartment and started really thinking about our entire relationship through new lens, how she'd insisted on keeping finances completely separate, but expected me to pay for most dates because the man should provide, how her parents always made little comments about my job, my car, my family. Natalie never defended me, said I was being sensitive by it. Morning, I'd made a decision. But first I needed information. I called my buddy Trevor, who worked in finance. Hey, can you explain trust funds to me? Turns out Natalie Trust wasn't as ironclad as they pretended. She got monthly distributions, but the principal was controlled by her parents until she turned 30 or got married, whichever came first after marriage. She get full control. Suddenly, the prenup made more sense. And so did the rush to get married. Natalie came home that afternoon looking haggard. We need to talk to you. I spoke to Daddy. He's willing to modify the prenup slightly. You get 50 callers. You divorce after 5 years. Generous. Don't be sarcastic. It's more than you'd have otherwise. Natalie, do you know why your parents are so insistent on the specific prenup? To protect your family assets. No, to ensure you get your trust fund while keeping me from having any claim to it. Or face when paid. That's not. You get full control when you're married. That's why we're rushing the wedding. That's why the prenup is so aggressive. They want you to have access to the money. But ensure I never do so when it's my money. Then why not wait until you're 30? Why the rush? To marry, she was quiet. How much data? You actually Annette, that's none of yours. It's in the prenup that your debt becomes mine. So it's very much my business. She crumbled, started crying for real this time. It's not just student loans. I have credit card debt about 40 colors. Jesus, from what living expenses Daddy gives me an allowance. But it's not enough to the lifestyle you want, for the lifestyle I deserve. There was again that entitlement. So the plan was marry me, get your trust, pay off your debts. And to me, locked in with prenup that ensures I get nothing if we split. It's not like that. I love you, do you? Or do you love that I'm stable enough to marry, but not wealthy enough to fight back? She slapped me hard. How dare you touch my cheek? I'll be staying at Trevor's tonight. We need space to think. If we leave, we're done. Then we're done. Update to the next 3 weeks. We're insane. Natalie went through the entire playbook. Day 1, the 3 love bombing texts about how sorry, how much she loved me, how we could work it out. Flowers delivered to my office, showing up at Trevor's with my favorite take. Out day 4, the 7 anger when love bombing failed. She got vicious, told everyone I was a gold digger who refused to sign a standard prenup, posted on social media about how I revealed my true colors. When money was involved, day 8 to 14, bargaining. Her parents reached out. New prenup offer 75K after 5 years, 100K after 7. Each one still awful, just slightly less awful. I declined more. Day 15 to 21, extinction burst. This is where it got interesting. First, she tried to get me fired, called my boss, claiming I was emotionally unstable and threatening. Lucky for me, my boss knew me better than that and called me immediately. Hey Nathan, just got a weird call from your ex-fans. What did she say? That you've been harassing her and she's concerned you might do something at work. Haven't contacted her in 2 weeks. I figured just document everything okay. Then came the apartment situation. The lease was in my name only, but she'd been living there for a year. She refused to move out. I have tenant rights. She screamed when I asked her to leave. You don't pay rent, you're a guest. I'll sue with what money you're. Credit cards are maxed. That's when she got creative. Started inviting people over at all hours parties on weeknights. Random guys showing up for dates. And she'd make sure I saw. I documented everything, every party, every guest, every intentional disruption. Building security was very helpful. Turns out they didn't like her much either, but the real kicker came when I got a call from my credit card key. Anthony, sir, we're calling about unusual activity on your account. Did you authorize a $5,000 purchase at Nordstrom? No, I did not. Will freeze the card immediately. Natalie had taken a photo of my credit card months ago for emergencies. Apparently revenge shopping counted as an emergency. I filed a police report. Credit card fraud is a felony. Update 3. When the police showed up to question Natalie about the credit card fraud, her parents went ballistic. Gregory called me personally. You need to drop this immediately. Why would I do that? Because we can make your life very difficult. More difficult than identity theft involves workplace accusations. You have no idea who you're messing with. A furniture store owner with delusions of grandeur. He hung up, but here's where Natalie's entitlement finally bit her in the ass seat. She hadn't stolen. Trevor did some digging and found out she'd been doing this for years, little amounts here and there from various boyfriends, never enough to prosecute, just enough to supplement her lifestyle. Except this time she'd gotten greedy and sloppy. The detective assigned to my case was very interested when I mentioned her pattern, even more interested when to have her exes came forward with similar stories after I posted about it in a local Facebook group. Suddenly Natalie was facing multiple fraud charges. Her parents' lawyer reached out within 48 hours to my client and prepared to offer a substantial settlement to make this go away. I'm listening to 100,000 hours, all charges dropped, and it's all around no. I want $500,000 in a written apology, and Natalie agrees to get financial counseling. That's extortion, that's consequences. Your client committed multiple felonies. I'm offering a way out. They paid, of course they paid, because Daddy's little princess couldn't have a criminal record. It would ruin her chances of marrying rich sons. The money was nice, but the real satisfaction came from the apology that Natalie was forced to write 3 pages of admitting to everything: the fraud, the lies, the manipulation. Her parents made her write it to protect themselves, legally, not realizing, and keep copies forever. The best part, the trust fund issue. See, there was a morality clause in the trust. Any criminal conviction would forfeit her access until she was 40 by threatening her with prosecution. I'd accidentally locked her out of her money for another 14 years. Or parents were furious. Patricia actually showed up at my work. You ruined her life. She ruined her own life. I just refuse to be collateral damage. She'll never forgive you. Good, I don't want her forgiveness. You're a monster. I'm a man who refused to be used, if that makes me a monster. Or wear the title proudly. It's been 6 months now. Natalie moved back in with her parents last. I heard they were trying to find her and new rich husband, but word gotten out about the fraud situation. Turns out rich guys don't like gold diggers who steal from their partners. Ironic. I used part of the settlement to buy a house cash. The rest is invested. I'm dating again. The teacher named Melissa, who thinks springs are totally reasonable when they're actually fair. Sometimes I think about it. That night, and Gregory studied how different my life would be if I just sighed. I'd be married to a woman who saw me as worthless, probably drowning in her debt, definitely miserable instead. I'm free, financially stable, and I know my worth. The prenup was meant to protect them and destroy me in the end. It did the opposite. Guess that's what happens when you try to normalize inequality. Sometimes the person you're trying to screw over reads the fine print.